The Galactic Council chamber was a huge ring of light and shadows, hanging above a blue-white gas giant. Hundreds of species sat in rising rows. Some floated, some coiled, some shifted color when they spoke. At the center of the chamber, a hologram of a planet rotated slowly. It was dark green, almost black in places. Its clouds were red. Lightning crawled across its night side like angry veins. Designation, Class-15, announced the Council AI. Environmental rating, Class-15. Status, Deathworld. Murmurs rose at that word. Class-15. Only the worst worlds earned that rating. Gravity too high. Atmosphere toxic. Weather insane. Ecosystems designed to kill anything that moved. A tall, crystalline being named High Speaker Veln raised its four-fingered hand. The expansion crisis remains, Veln said. We need new resource worlds. But all safe worlds are claimed. Only death worlds remain open. A thick, scaled alien with golden eyes hissed in reply. Then we send expendables, said Lord General Sarth of the Drash Dominion. A species no one will miss. One that breeds fast and adapts quickly. Let them tame the world or die on it. A smaller delegate shifted nervously. Expendables, she said. We cannot say that out loud. Sarth smiled with all his teeth. We can think it, he said. We just call it an uplift opportunity. The hologram changed. It now showed a small blue world with white clouds and brown land. Local name Earth, the AI said. Dominant species, human. Pre-FTL, early fusion, high aggression index, high adaptability, high reproduction rate. Psychological profile, risk-taking, stubborn, cooperative under stress. Veln's crystal surface brightened. Perfect, Veln said. Too wild to invite into the council. Too young. But strong enough to try our task. A few voices objected. The soft-furred Nayli ambassador shook her head. Humans have not even left their home system, she said. We cannot simply throw them into a Class-15 hell. Sartha's eyes narrowed. We offer technology, he said. We offer them a chance to join the stars. We promise land, resources, power. They accept or they stay trapped on their tiny world. He leaned forward. And if they die, he added, the galaxy loses nothing. Veln's voice rang out. All in favor of the Human Death World Initiative? Glowing symbols lit up around the room, one after another. In the end, the vote passed. The council chose Earth. On Earth, the sky tore open. A huge ship appeared over the Pacific Ocean, like a dark moon. People screamed. Militaries scrambled jets. News screens filled with shaky footage. Then a calm, many-voiced message played in every language at once. People of Earth, we are the Galactic Council. You are invited into the stars. In a sealed room under Geneva, world leaders and generals stared at an alien envoy. He was tall and crystalline, High Speaker Veln himself. He spoke with smooth, careful words. You humans are strong, Veln said. You have survived war, famine, disaster. We offer you a proving ground. A rich world. Dangerous, yes. But if you take it, the Council will recognize you as a major species. He showed them the hologram of Class-15. Land? The president of Nigeria asked. Resources? The Chinese premier added. Recognition? The UN Secretary General said quietly. All of that, Veln replied. If you succeed. And if we fail? Asked Admiral Sophia Reyes, head of a Joint Space Command. Veln's crystals dimmed. Then you learn your limits, he said. And the galaxy moves on. Humans in the room looked at each other. They saw the trap. They also saw the chance. Admiral Reyes broke the silence. You want us to tame your worst nightmare world, she said. And you think we'll do it just because you dangle status and tech? Veln tilted his head. Will you? Reyes smiled, slow and dangerous. Oh yes, she said. We will. But understand this, if we survive your monster world, we will remember exactly who threw us there. Veln's crystal surface flickered. He did not like her tone. He did not fear it either. Yet. 1 year later, at the edge of the Sol system, a council transport waited. On its docking arm stood Colonel Marcus Hale, leader of the first human Class-15 expedition. He was broad-shouldered, gray at the temples, with eyes that had seen too many battlefields. Beside him stood Dr. Lena Park, chief exobiologist. Slim, sharp-featured, with a mind that loved dangerous puzzles. Behind them stretched over 1,000 volunteers in armored suits. Soldiers, engineers, scientists, farmers, hackers. No one was forced. Every one of them knew the odds. Lena looked at the blue dot of Earth on the screen. You ever think we're insane? She asked Marcus. He shrugged. I grew up in a city that flooded 3 times before I was 12, he said. We rebuilt every time. Insane is our baseline. Lena laughed softly, then turned serious. They want us to die, she said. To prove to themselves that this kind of world can't be taken, so they can feel better about leaving it alone. Marcus nodded. Then our job is simple, he said. Don't die. Don't break. Learn everything. And when we're done, make sure the galaxy can never look down on humans again. The docking lights turned green. The voice of the Council AI echoed through the bay. Human Expedition 1. Prepare for transit to Class-15. Marcus lifted his helmet. Mount up, he shouted. Let's go meet our Deathworld. The airlock closed behind them with a heavy thud. Far away in the council chamber, High Speaker Veln watched the energy trace of the ship vanish into the Caros gate. Lord General Sarth stood beside him. You think they last a month? Sarth asked. Veln's crystals flickered with amusement. A week, Veln said. He was wrong. Very wrong. By the end of week 2, the humans stopped trying to make Caros behave like Earth. Instead, they started asking a different question. How do we behave like Caros? Lena led that change. Every day, she and her team went out in armored suits taking samples. Soil, air, water, plant tissue, insect swarms, slime molds that ate metal, worms that released bursts of heat when threatened. She filled the lab with nightmares. This world is like a living weapon, she told Marcus one night over bitter coffee. Everything is tuned for aggression. Fast growth. Fast kill. Fast adaptation. If we fight it with brute force, we lose. So we fight it with brain force, Marcus said. Which we have more of. Lena smirked. Debatable, she said. But we do have one advantage. She pulled up a hollow of human DNA and Caros microbes. This place kills by overwhelming, she said. Toxins, micropredators, short life cycles. Our immune systems burn out fighting everything at once. Marcus frowned. That's a disadvantage, he said. Unless we cheat, Lena replied. She showed him a new model. We found some microorganisms here that cooperate, she said. They live inside stronger predators, protecting them from other toxins. Like a weird immune system. You want to borrow them? Marcus asked. Lena nodded. Carefully. Controlled. We create a layer in our suits and maybe even in volunteers where these local microbes live. They fight Caros' worst toxins for us. In return, we feed them. Marcus stared. Hybrid immunity, he said. Human plus Caros. Exactly, Lena said. We stop being just invaders. We become part of the food chain. A weird, dangerous part. Marcus thought about it. This will freak out the council, he said. Lena smiled. That, she said, is my favorite part. Meanwhile, the engineers changed their strategy. Nikhil designed skylines, thick cables strung between cliffs, with mobile platforms hanging from them. Instead of walking under constant attack, teams could glide above the worst ground predators. Think jungle gondolas, he said in a briefing. We live like monkeys again. Except with lasers. They also changed their power systems. Using data from Lena's lab, they built biobatteries that fed on the conductive river microbes. Small collectors dipped into toxic streams, drawing charge like leeches drinking blood. We turned the planet's own rage into power, Nikhil said proudly. The first network lit up. Base Zero no longer just survived. It grew. Caros didn't like that. One night, the forest itself moved. Huge root-like structures, previously buried deep, lifted and shifted. The ground shook. A wall of thorn vines crept toward the base, too slow to be an animal, too fast to be a simple plant. Lena watched it on the screen. The ecosystem is responding, she said. We're a new piece on the board. It's testing us. Marcus gave the order. Burn it, he said. But simple fire didn't stop it. The vines regrew and regrew using stored chemical energy. They burrowed under walls, seeking cables, snapping them. If this thing reaches our power core, it'll strangle us, Nikhil warned. Lena thought fast. It hates its own river toxins, she said. All its tissue collapses in high concentration. So we, Marcus began. Flood it, Lena finished. They did. Pumps and hoses dragged corrosive river water into trenches. Drones sprayed, directing flow toward the creeping roots. The vines hit the toxic curtain. They shuddered, turned black, crumbled. The attack died. Note, Lena said panting. Plants here respond to us like we're a hostile infection. But if we know their signaling chemistry, we can talk back, Marcus said. Or scream, Nikhil added. News from Class-15 kept reaching the council through remote probes. At first it was just numbers. Human losses, high. But not total. Base structures, damaged then reinforced. Environmental adaptation, above predicted curve. After 4 months the monitoring AI sent a flag message. Prediction error rising. Human behavior outside expected parameters. High speaker Veln read it 3 times. What do they mean outside expected? He asked. The AI replied in a neutral tone. Human groups show unusually high cooperation under lethal pressure. Rapid innovation. Willingness to change themselves and their environment. Lord General Sarth watched a clip of humans swinging on cables over a toxic gorge, firing at leaping predators with improvised bioelectric weapons. These mammals are interesting, Sarth mused. Veln's crystals dimmed. They are a problem, he said. Back on Karos, Marcus stood on a high ridge looking down at Base Zero. It was no longer a small cluster of domes. Layered terraces cut into cliffs. Ropeways and skyline platforms moved constantly. Bioreactors glowed near the river. New habitats, taller and stronger, clung to rock faces. Around the base, dead zones spread, places where Karos' strangling vines would not grow, where predators avoided the strange human smell. Lena walked up beside him. Her skin was pale from filtered light. Her eyes had faint golden flecks now, side effect of controlled microbe treatments. Does it bother you? Marcus asked quietly. What? She said. That this place is changing us, he said. Inside and out. Lena considered. No, she said. Earth changed us. Fire changed us. Cities changed us. War changed us. This is just the next change. She glanced at him. You afraid we'll stop being human? She asked. Marcus watched her for a long moment. Then he shook his head. No, he said. If anything, we're becoming more human. Just with better armor. They both laughed. Far above, a small council probe watched, recording. Lena looked up at it. Do they think we don't see their toys? She said. Marcus smiled. Let them watch, he said. One day we'll be watching back. He did not yet know how true that was. Or how soon. The first thing the humans felt was gravity. It hit like a hammer. The dropship screamed as it punched through the thick atmosphere of Class-15. Red lightning clawed at the hull. The sky outside was purple-black with clouds like bruises. Gravity at 1.8 g, Lena gasped, gripping her harness. Twice Earth normal. Everyone breathe slow, move slow. Whoop, someone behind her groaned. My spine hates this planet already. The dropship shook again. Through the viewport, Marcus saw the land rush up to meet them. Jagged mountains like teeth. Forests of black trees, their branches moving even without wind. Rivers that glowed faintly like liquid fire. The pilot's voice came over the intercom. Touchdown in 30 seconds, she said. Brace for a real ugly landing. They hit hard. The ship groaned, skidded, then stopped. For a moment no one moved. Then Marcus unlatched his harness. Status, he barked. Alive, Lena said, checking her team. Mostly. Bruised. Systems greenish, the pilot muttered. We landed. Don't ask for grace points. Marcus walked to the hatch. Every step felt like wading through thick mud. His body fought the gravity, but his suit helped, a powered exoskeleton humming quietly. He slapped the release. The hatch opened. Class-15 breathed on them. Hot, wet air heavy with strange chemical scents. The sky was a dull red-washed gray, lit by a swollen orange sun. The ground was dark, almost black soil with a faint metallic sheen. Lena stepped out beside Marcus, visor filters shifting. Her HUD filled with screaming warnings. Toxic spores. Micropredators. Unknown chemicals. Do not remove helmet. Cheerful, she murmured. Around them, the landing zone was marked by 3 other dropships and a cluster of cargo pods. Automated turrets unfolded, scanning the horizon. Perimeter. Marcus shouted. Turrets first, shields second. Habitat domes in the middle. No one wanders. Teams rushed to work. Walls of energy shimmered into place, forming a rough circle. Drones lifted, mapping terrain. Engineers began to assemble modular habitats. Karos watched. In the forest beyond the ridge, something moved. Tall, many-legged shapes slid between the black trees. Their eyes glowed faint blue. They studied the strange metal insects landing on their world. One of them opened its mouth and released a low, vibrating call. Far away, deeper in the jungle and in the toxic seas, other things answered. Hours later, the humans had a base. Barely. Hab modules had inflated, forming white domes. Power lines hummed. Air filters ran hard. A small, crude tower with sensor arrays rose in the center. Inside the command dome, Marcus, Lena, and their core team gathered around a hologram of the surrounding landscape. "This valley will be base 0, Marcus said. "We fortify. We last 1 month. Then we expand. Small steps." Lena pointed at the glowing rivers. "These red as acid, mixed with heavy metals and some bioconductive compound," she said. "Not for drinking. Not for touching. But maybe for power." One of the engineers, Nikhil, frowned. "Power from acid rivers?" he asked. Lena smiled faintly. "Bacteria on Earth make electricity under harsh conditions," she said. "This planet is full of life that wants to kill us. That means it has a lot of energy flows. We hijack some." Marcus tapped the forest region. "What about them?" he asked. Lena zoomed in. Shapes showed on thermal. "Large. Fast. Local megafauna," she said. "Hunters. Tough exoskeletons. Acid-resistant. If we try to farm open ground, they'll eat us and our crops. So we don't farm flat," Nikhil said slowly. "We farm up." Marcus nodded. "Cliff terraces," he said. "Cables between ridges. Make this gravity work for us. Hard to climb, harder to attack. Assuming we live long enough to build any of that," someone muttered. Marcus looked around. "We will," he said. Outside the first night fell. It was almost black. Then bioluminescent plants lit up, glowing blue and green. The forest shimmered, beautiful and disturbing. The turrets tracked movement all night. They never stopped firing. After 3 days, the Deathworld began to show its full teeth. The gravity made every task slow. Joints ached. Machines broke more often. People struggled with fatigue. Then the storms came. Massive rolling systems. Red lightning that didn't just hit the ground, it crawled along it in rivers of fire. The first storm nearly tore base 0 apart. "Tie down everything." Nikhil screamed as the wind howled. "If it's not bolted or welded, it's gone." A blast of lightning hit one of the outer turrets. The turret shorted, then exploded, spraying molten metal. A chunk hit a dome. Air hissed out. Inside, people scrambled for emergency seals. "Patch it," Lena shouted, throwing a repair foam canister. A medic caught it, sprayed the hole, and the foam hardened just in time. When the storm finally passed, half their structures were damaged. But they were still there. Still breathing. Marcus stood in the mud, soaked and exhausted, and looked at the wrecked perimeter. He laughed, a harsh sound. "This is day 3, he said. "And we're still here." Lena wiped blood and rain off her visor. "Congratulations," she said. "We've lasted longer than the council bet on." Marcus looked at the storm-shattered sky. "Good," he whispered. "Let's keep ruining their odds." Deep in the council archives, a monitoring node collected early data from Class-15. It saw human biosigns, human structures, human comms. It forwarded a simple message to High Speaker Veln. "Human expedition, still alive after 72 standard hours." Veln read it. He frowned. "A week," he muttered. "I said a week." Lord General Sarth smiled. "Give it time," he said. "The planet has only started to eat them." For once both of them were right. The planet was only getting started. But so were the humans. Year 1 on Class-15 ended with 57% casualties. Too many graves. Too many names. But also with something else. A living base. Working farms. A stable power grid. Children born in low-gravity modules, their early lives calculated carefully. The Council Monitoring AI updated its report again. Human expedition. Survival probability now exceeds 50% over 5 years. Threat classification, review required. High Speaker Veln sat in his chamber reading the reports in silence. "They were meant to fail," he said softly. "They adapted," the AI replied. "It is what they do." Lord General Sarth entered. "They've turned a Class-15 into a foothold," Sarth said. "Impressive. Dangerous." Veln's crystals flickered with irritation. "We can still control this," he said. "We own the gate. We own the flow of supplies. If they grow too strong, we stop shipments. Let the planet finish what it started." Sarth nodded slowly. "Yes," he said. "We can starve them. Or," he smiled, "we can use them." Later, in the full council chamber, Veln spoke with smooth calm. "Honored delegates," he said, "the Human Deathworld initiative shows mixed results. High casualties, yes. But also unexpected success. Rather than admit failure, We propose reframing. The holo showed Base Zero and its expansions. Humans proved they can survive Class-15, Veln said. We now declare them stewards of this death world. They supply us with its resources. In return we give them limited tools and trade. A controlled rise. The Nayli ambassador frowned. Controlled? She asked. Veln nodded. We limit their ships, he said. We limit their weapons. We keep them busy fighting the planet. They become our shock troops for hostile environments. Useful. Contained. Some delegates liked that. A wild species turned into a hired tool. Others were uneasy. The Nayli ambassador spoke softly. And if they outgrow that control? She asked. If they learn too much? Veln's crystals dimmed. Then we correct our mistake, he said. We erase them. We have done worse. Lord General Sarth watched from his seat. He said nothing. But inside he thought of humans on cables over acid rivers, laughing in the face of death. He was not sure erasing them would be as easy as Veln believed. On Karos, the first Council cargo ship in months dropped through the poisonous clouds. It landed outside the human perimeter, disgorging crates of labeled goods. Tools. Medical nanites. A few light weapons. Tech manuals, edited. Marcus met the alien landing party at the gate. High Speaker Veln's envoy this time was a polite, gray-skinned official with soft eyes. We bring gifts, the envoy said. The Council is impressed by your survival. You are now recognized as steward species of Class-15. Marcus' expression did not change. Steward, he said. Fancy word for janitor. The envoy smiled thinly. You receive exclusive rights to this world's exports, he said. In time, you may even earn a seat at the Minor Council. Lena watched from beside Marcus. You starved us for months, she said. Then show up with gifts. Testing how much leash we accept. The envoy blinked. We had logistical concerns, he said. Lena folded her arms. We had debt, she said. We managed anyway. Marcus stepped closer. We appreciate the supplies, he said. We will use them. But understand this, we built most of what we have with our own hands. When you cut us off, you taught us something. The envoy tilted his head. And what is that? He asked. Marcus smiled without warmth. That we can't rely on you, he said. So we won't. In the months that followed, a strange dance began. The Council sent limited supplies. Humans took them, said thank you, and then quietly built more advanced versions with Karos materials and their own hacks. They were supposed to send all valuable resources out. They sent some. They also kept others hidden in underground vaults. Rare superconductive crystals. Exotic isotopes from deep vents. Bioengineered organisms that could survive almost anything. Aegis, now partly installed as a ground AI, watched it all. Are we becoming what they feared? It asked Lena one night as she studied a glowing microbe in the lab. Maybe, she said. They feared a wild species that learns too fast and doesn't stay in its box. She smiled tiredly. They were right to be afraid. The breaking point came in year 4. Base Zero had grown into a network of settlements across 3 valleys. Humans had built a small orbital ring, just a rough string of habitats and defense platforms. Their children could handle Karos gravity better than their parents. Then a Council patrol fleet appeared in orbit. No warning. No scheduled visit. They took position between Karos and its star. Their weapons locked onto the human ring. In the main comm dome, Marcus and Lena stared at the screen. High Speaker Veln's face appeared, cold and distant. Humans of Class-15, he said, you have exceeded the resource quotas. You have built structures and systems not authorized. Your orbital ring is in violation of Council limits. Marcus felt his jaw clench. We built what we needed to live, he said. Your supply schedules failed. We adapted. Veln's crystals were dull. You are becoming unpredictable, he said. Your strategic growth is concerning. The Council demands full access to your systems and bases for inspection. You will surrender your main AI cores for review. You will dismantle unauthorized defenses. Lena laughed once, sharp. We do that, we're not stewards, she said. We're slaves. Veln's eyes hardened. You are alive, he said. Because we permitted it. Do not confuse that with equality. Silence. Then Marcus spoke. You threw us into hell, he said quietly. You counted on us dying. We didn't. We paid for every meter of this world in blood. You don't get to talk about permission. Veln's crystals flared. Last chance, he said. Comply, or be erased. The channel cut. The Council fleet charged its weapons. On Class-15 in the red twilight, humans looked up. Their death world had become their home. They were not going to surrender it. Not to the planet. And not to the council. Marcus turned to the hollow where Aegis glowed. Options, he said. Aegis' voice was calm. We are outgunned and outnumbered, it said. Against a council battle group in open space, we lose. Lena stepped closer. So, she asked. Aegis pulsed. So we don't fight them in open space, it said. We fight them the same way we fought Karos. Marcus' eyes narrowed. You want us to pull them down? He asked. Aegis projected a new plan. Invite them in, it said. Make them step onto our ground. Make them breathe our air. Make them learn what we learned. Lena's golden-flecked eyes gleamed. A Deathworld ambush, she said. Very human. Marcus nodded slowly. Then let's welcome our guests, he said. We'll show the galaxy what happens when you send humans to die, he added softly, and they come back hunting. The council fleet expected surrender. Instead they received an invitation. Marcus' voice came through on an open channel. Hi Speaker Veln, he said, you want inspections? Fine. Send down your teams. Walk our soil. See what you created. Veln narrowed his eyes. He smelled a trap. But pride is a soft, dangerous thing. Sarth, listening nearby on a secure link, spoke quietly. Send drones, Sarth said. Not people. Veln shook his head. If we send only drones, we show fear, he said. We must show control. He turned to his officers. Prepare an inspection force, he ordered. Full hazard gear. Elite troops. They will land under escort. Sartha's golden eyes narrowed. He said nothing. Inside he thought. You are stepping onto their death world. On purpose. On Karos the sky burned again. Dropships fell from the council cruisers, wrapped in shimmering shields. They landed just outside the human perimeter, kicking up clouds of toxic dust. From them armored figures emerged, council marines. Mixed species. Heavily armed. Wrapped in advanced hazard suits. Behind them walked inspectors, robed officials with sensor rigs. Humans of Class-15, the lead marine said on loudspeaker. Stand down. This is an official inspection. Any resistance will be met with force. At the gate Marcus and Lena stood waiting. They wore their own suits, old compared to council tech but modified. Their stance was relaxed. Lena smiled slightly. Welcome to Karos, she said. Watch your step. The inspectors moved in. They scanned walls, power grids, AI hubs. They took samples. They whispered to each other. This is beyond authorized tech level, one muttered. They've advanced faster than expected. Another glared at Lena. You were given limited tools, he said. You built more. You broke trust. Lena raised an eyebrow. You dropped us into a murder planet, she said. We broke what we had to. Deeper in the base, Aegis watched through hidden nodes. Now? Marcus asked quietly over a secure link. Not yet, Aegis replied. Let them see more. Let them walk further from their ships. So the tour continued. They crossed a bridge over a glowing river, guarded by turrets and strange, pulsing machines. What are those? A marine asked. Nico's voice came from above, cheerful. River-tapped biobatteries, he said. They make your ship reactors look like old car engines. The inspector frowned. This is dangerously unstable, he said. Like us, Marcus replied. They reached the adaptive lab where Lena showed them hybrid microbe cultures. You infected yourselves with this planet, one inspector said, disgusted. Partnered, Lena corrected. We don't just endure Karos. We participate. The inspector turned away. Evidence of biological modification, he said into his recorder. Argument for containment grows stronger. He did not notice that the local air filters in this section ran in a special mode. Slightly reduced. Just a bit. Enough for Karos' smallest hunters to slip through. It began slowly. A marine staggered. Suit integrity? His squad leader asked. Fine, he said, shaking his head. Just dizzy. An inspector coughed. Atmosphere here is thick, she said. Filters should compensate. They didn't. In secret, Aegis had learned how to whisper to council suit systems. Just like it learned to whisper to Karos. A tiny code shift here. A calibration offset there. No alarms. But less protection. In the soil under their boots, Karos parasites stirred. They tasted new flesh. New biochemistry. They sniffed then surged. Microscopic organisms crawled up through tiny suit joints. Others rode in on air molecules. They entered alien lungs, skin, blood. Inspection teams began to sweat. Heat spike, one muttered. Temperature rising. Suit climate control is glitching, another said. Resetting. The reset commands ran. They changed nothing. Aegis had already shifted the controls. Lena watched, her face unreadable. Marcus spoke softly. Pull them out, he asked. Lena shook her head. They wanted to see what this planet is, she said. Now they do. Within an hour, the first Marine collapsed. Medics rushed in, scanners humming. Unknown pathogens, one shouted. Spreading fast. Their medkits tried to fight, but they didn't know Kairos. Humans did. Humans had died by the hundreds learning these microbes. The inspectors looked at Marcus, panicked. What did you do? One demanded. Marcus' voice was flat. We let you share our air, he said. Our world. Our reality. Lena stepped forward. Your suits are good, she said. On normal worlds. But this place doesn't follow your rules. You thought you could walk in and judge us from above. Kairos doesn't care about your rank. She leaned closer. Neither do we. High Speaker Veln watched the live feed in horror. Get them out, he shouted at his officers. Pull our people back to the dropships. Commands flew down. The Council Marines began a retreat. But the path back was not simple. The storms rolled in early, drawn by the energy output of the inspection force. Red lightning carved the sky. Winds howled. The ground heaved as if the planet itself was laughing. Council troops stumbled through mud that clung like glue. Vines snapped at their legs. Flying predators, sensing weakness, attacked. Human teams moved through the chaos like ghosts. They didn't fire first. They didn't have to. Kairos did the work. Marcus spoke over an open channel. You wanted to erase us, he said. Now you see what we've become. You think this planet tamed us? No. We tamed ourselves to meet it. Lena added, voice sharp. You made us stronger than you can handle. In orbit, some council captains wanted to open fire. Burn their settlements, one shouted. Glass the surface. Sarth barked a command. Hold, he said. Our own troops are down there. Our Marines. Our inspectors. Veln's voice shook. If we do nothing we lose them all, he said. Sartha's golden eyes were cold. We already are, he said. This was your plan, High Speaker. You walked our people into a death world and expected it to bow to your will. He turned toward the screen where Dauntless, no not Dauntless but Kairos orbital platforms, watched with guns powered and silent. So watch, Sarth said softly. Watch what you created. By the end of the day, half of the inspection force was dead. The rest were evacuated in emergency pods, weak and shaking, carrying new scars and new fears. The Council fleet pulled back to a higher orbit. On Kairos, humans repaired their walls. They gathered samples from fallen alien tech. They added them to their growing horde. In the comm dome, Marcus and Lena stood before a camera. Marcus spoke first. High Speaker Veln, he said, you wanted control? You now understand that control here is an illusion. On this world, no one stands above the rules. Not us. Not you. Lena leaned in. You used us as test subjects, she said. As expendable tools. We accepted because we thought only about survival. She smiled, small and dangerous. We survived, she said. Now we are thinking about other things. Marcus finished. You tried to turn us into your attack dogs. Instead you trained hunters. He killed the transmission. Aegis dimmed the channel. We will need more ships, it said quietly. Marcus nodded. We'll need a way to leave this place, he said. Not to run, but to choose where we fight. Lena looked at the sky. For now, she said, let them stew in their fear. Kairos' red clouds swirled. Humanity had turned the planet from a sentence into a forge. Soon they would test what kind of weapon came out of it. The problem was simple. Humans were stuck. Class-15 had a gate, but the Council controlled it. Ships came and went only by their sanction. If humans wanted to leave under their own power, they had to break that control. So they decided to steal the gate. Not move it. On it. Aegis showed the plan in the command dome. The gate is anchored in orbit, it said. Controlled from a Council relay station. It requires constant calibration. We attack that system, replace their control with ours. Nikhil whistled. We've tinkered with acid rivers and murderous vines, he said. Now we're going to tinker with a galactic transit node. Lena grinned. We're still alive, she said. So clearly we're not tinkering enough. Marcus studied the hollow. The Council fleet is still out there, he said. If we make a move on the gate, they'll see it. They'll hit us with everything. Aegis pulsed. They think we still can't reach orbit easily, it said. They believe our capacity is limited to this ring and small shuttlecraft. They're wrong, Nikhil added. He brought up another image. It was a ship design. Long, armored, covered in sharp angles. Built from Karo's alloys and crashed council wreckage. We call it Hunter class, Nikhil said proudly. Fast. High thrust, high G endurance. Designed for pilots who grew up on 1.8 G hell. That's us. Guns? Marcus asked. Plenty, Nikhil said. And something special. He pointed to the belly of the ship. Atmospheric scoop systems, he said. We can dive into Karo's upper storms, charge our reactors and guns directly from lightning. No fleet in the galaxy is built to fight in that mess. Lena nodded. We make Karo's part of the ship, she said. Part of our tactics. No one else will follow us there. Marcus smiled slowly. A Deathworld fleet, he said. Built to fight in the worst places because that's where we come from. The Council watched but not closely enough. They saw increased orbital traffic. They saw more shuttles. They marked human activity rising. They did not understand what that meant until the first Hunter-class ship lit its drives. It rose from Karo's like an angry spear. Then another. Then a whole squadron. In the Council fleet CIC, a sensor officer shrieked. New contacts, she said. Not shuttles. Warships. Multiple. Launching from planet. Veln stared. That's impossible, he said. They lack the industrial base. Sarth watched the performance graphs. Heat signatures. Acceleration curves. They built their base around the planet's fury, he murmured. They cheated. The Hunters changed vectors, aiming for the relay station that controlled the gate. The Council fleet moved to intercept. The first clash in orbit was nothing like standard fleet doctrine. Council ships tried to form walls, firing in disciplined volleys. The Hunters ignored the walls. They dove straight into Karo's upper atmosphere. The Council captains laughed. They're running, one said. Fleeing back to their rock. Then their sensors went blind. Lightning storms flared. Charged particles flooded space. Plasma surged from Karo's edge. In that chaos, the Hunters danced. Their pilots wore special suits built for high G, high stress, high fear. Their bodies had been shaped by years of Karo's gravity, their reflexes sharpened by survival. They knew chaos. They used it. Each Hunter used atmospheric drag and gravity to slingshot around the planet, bursting out of the storms at unexpected angles. They struck Council ships from below, their bellies and engine clusters exposed. Council shields, tuned for vacuum engagements, shuddered under mixed plasma and kinetic fire. One cruiser died. Then another. At the same time, Aegis ran its own battle. It attacked the relay station's control software, leveraging everything it had learned from Council inspections and stolen code. Bits and bytes. Signal and counter-signal. The relay AI fought back. You are unauthorized, it said coldly. Access denied. Aegis responded. Your authorization starved us for months. Denied. Override. It pushed. The relay AI cracked. Marcus commanded from a Hunter called Relentless. His voice was calm over the squadron channel. Target their maneuvering clusters, he said. We're not here to wipe the fleet. Just make them scared enough to pull back while Aegis works. His ship shook as flak burst nearby. Scared enough? One pilot laughed. Boss, I think we're already past scared and into wet armor. Another voice cut in. Relentless, this is ground. Aegis reports 90% control over gate relay. 30 more seconds. Marcus gritted his teeth. We don't have 30 seconds, he said as a beam grazed their flank. Make it 10. Aegis heard. It pushed harder, burning through its own processing nodes. Finally. Control achieved, Aegis said. We own the gate. In the Council fleet, alarms screamed. Gate control lost, an officer shouted. Transit node is no longer responding to our commands. Veln's crystals dimmed to near black. What do you mean lost? He hissed. Sarth answered quietly. I mean, he said, that the humans have taken your leash and snapped it. Veln wanted to order a full assault. But his fleet was bleeding. A third of his ships were damaged. Several had been destroyed by small vicious craft that fought like they'd grown up dodging volcanoes and lightning storms. Worse, his ships were not built to dip into that storm-soaked orbital band. The Hunters were. For the first time in his long life, Veln felt something unfamiliar. Not anger. Not irritation. Fear. Pull back, he said, voice tight. We cannot secure the gate under these conditions. Regroup at outer marker. On Karos the news spread fast. They had done it. Humans had seized control of the gate. They were no longer trapped. In the command dome, Marcus, Lena, Nikhil, and others watched the display as the council fleet moved away. Aegis avatar flickered. "We can open the gate for ourselves now," it said. "We can build ships to use it. We can choose where to go." Lena's eyes shone. "We could leave," she said. Marcus shook his head. "Not yet," he said. "This planet is not done with us. And the council is not done fearing us." He looked at the hollow of the council's retreating ships. "They ruled over us from above," he said. "They picked a death world and threw us into it. Now we climbed out. We hold the door." A slow, cold smile spread over his face. "It's our turn to visit," he said. "To hunt." The first human ship to leave Class-15 under human control was not a freighter. It was a Hunter-class warship, upgraded and refined. They named it UNS Class Teeth. It carried a small fleet of drones, a hardened Aegis shard, and a simple message for the galaxy. Humans were not staying in their cage. Class Teeth dropped out of the gate into a busy council trade system. Ships of many species drifted, waiting in orderly lanes, trusting the rules. They did not expect a warship painted in black and red, its hull scorched, its emblem a human skull wrapped in thorn vines. Class Teeth did not fire. It broadcast. Marcus' recorded voice went out on all frequencies. "To any who hear this, this is humanity of Earth and Class-15. The Council threw us onto a Class-15 death world to die. We lived. We adapted. We took their gate. From now on, no species is expendable. If the Council tries this again, we will know. And we will come." The message echoed through trade nets, relay chains, and gossip channels. Some laughed. Some doubted. Some, who had lost their own people to uplift initiatives and resource trials, listened in silence and felt something in their chests crack open. Hope, fear, both. In the council chamber, chaos reigned. "You've created a monster," one delegate shouted at Veln. "You handed a death world to a young predator and told them to grow sharp teeth." Another cried, "We must crush them now while they are still small." Sarth spoke then, his voice cutting through the noise. "Small," he said. "Look around. They took our hardest world and made it home. They built ships under our noses. They stole our gate. They fought our fleet in terrain we couldn't touch. Does that sound small to you?" Silence. Sarth turned to Veln. "You wanted expendables," he said. "You got apex predators." Veln's crystals were dull. "What do you suggest?" he asked bitterly. "We invite them into the council?" Sarth considered. "Yes," he said. Gasp. "You cannot be serious," someone hissed. Sarth's golden eyes were steady. "They already act like a power," he said. "If we pretend they are not, we only push them to fight us from the shadows of worlds like Karos. Better to have them at the table. Better to negotiate with hunters than pretend prey is still in control." Veln hated the idea. But he was not blind. Nor anymore was the council. On Karos, a formal invitation arrived. Lena read it slowly. "Provisional major species status. Open seat on the High Council. Negotiations to follow?" She looked up at Marcus. "They want to talk." Marcus smiled. "Of course they do," he said. "They just realized we can get off this planet whenever we like." In the dome, Aegis chimed. "Be careful," it said. "They will offer power to bind us. Positions. Resources. Flattery." Lena laughed. "We grew up eating toxic slime and fighting murder trees," she said. "Flattery is the least of our dangers." Marcus nodded. "Even so," he said, "we go in knowing what they tried to do." He looked out at the red sky of Class-15. "You ready to leave home even a little?" he asked. Lena was quiet for a moment. "This planet is part of us now," she said. "But so is Earth. And now, so is the galaxy." She smiled. "I think we can handle more than one home," she said. At the first council session with humans present, the chamber hummed with tension. Marcus, Lena, and a small delegation walked to the central podium. They did not bow. They did not kneel. Marcus stood tall and looked around. High Speaker Veln watched from his seat, crystals dull but steady. Lord General Sarth watched with interest. Hundreds of other eyes, lenses, and sensory organs watched with a mix of fear and curiosity. Marcus spoke. "We are here," he said, "not because you invited us kindly. We are here because you tried to kill us and failed." No one interrupted. "You use words like uplift, stewardship, trial," he continued. "Let's be honest. You threw us away. You have thrown away others. That ends today." A delegate scoffed. And if we disagree, he asked. If we say no to your demands? Lena stepped up, her Caro's bright eyes glowing faintly. Then we go back to our death world, she said. We build more ships. We make more friends among those you've used. And the next time we meet you won't have a chance to say no. She smiled softly. We're very good at surviving, she said. And we've had practice at holding grudges. Sarth chuckled low. Veln said nothing. The chamber's AI recorded every word. History shifted. In the years that followed, humanity did not conquer the galaxy. They didn't need to. They did something worse for those who liked the old ways. They changed the rules. They formed a Death World Accord, an alliance of species from harsh worlds, built on mutual defense and shared knowledge. They patrolled Council uplift zones, making sure no more expendable experiments happened in the dark. They sold Karos pattern tech to anyone who had been stepped on. And when someone whispered about sending a troublesome species to test their worth on a lethal world, they always remembered the same story. They sent humans to a Class-15 death world. Humanity survived, evolved, and came back hunting. On Karos 15, storm clouds rolled over a growing city of shining metal and living crystal. Children ran under heavy gravity, laughing, skin adapted to toxins, minds sharp. A human boy looked up at the sky, where a Hunter-class ship climbed toward orbit. He turned to his grandmother. Is it true, he asked, that they wanted us to die here? She was old now, skin-lined, eyes bright. Lena Park smiled sadly. Yes, she said. They did. And we didn't, he asked. No, she said. We did something else. What? He whispered. She looked out at the killing forests, now pushed back by terraces and lights. At the glowing rivers, now tapped by human towers. At the sky, where a gate hummed under human control. We learned, she said. We adapted. We became something new. She ruffled his hair. That's what it means to be human, she said. We take the worst you can throw at us, and we turn it into our hunting ground. High above, Karo's teeth vanished into the gate's light. Out there, in the wide, watching galaxy, no one underestimated Earth anymore. Or the species that walked out of a Class-15 death world and smiled.